I need the scoop.
One accidental glance at a coworker's screen sends a person into a spiral of spreadsheets, salary math, and workplace detective work that Reddit couldn't get enough of. We're diving into a viral confession that has thousands of people questioning whether they're being paid what they're worth. Get ready for a workplace story full of unexpected twists, cryptic cookie deliveries, and one very suspicious PDF zoomed to 400%.
This happened 2 weeks ago, and it has been eating me alive. I work in an open office. My coworker Greg sits directly across from me. Our monitors face each other. I have never once looked at his screen on purpose. I want to make that clear because what happened was entirely an accident, and also entirely his fault. Greg got up to go to the bathroom and left his screen unlocked. Normal. People do this. I don't care. But he left a PDF open, and it was zoomed in to something like 400%. I don't know why anyone would zoom a PDF to 400%, but Greg did. And because of that, I could read it from 4 feet away without even trying. It was his offer letter from when he was hired, with his salary, in basically 48-point font. He makes $31,000 more than me. We have the same title, same team. He started 8 months after me. I trained him. I trained the man who makes $31,000 more than me. I showed him how to use our project management tool. I walked him through the client onboarding process. I sat with him for 2 hours explaining our filing system, which, honestly, even I don't fully understand, but I pretended I did because I was his mentor, and he makes $31,000 more than me. I cannot stop doing math now. Every meeting we're in together, I'm calculating. Okay, this meeting is 1 hour. He's making X per hour, I'm making Y per hour. The difference between us sitting in this same meeting, listening to the same person talk about third quarter projections is $14.90. I am losing $14.90 of relative value every hour I sit next to Greg. I've started a spreadsheet. I know this is unhinged. The spreadsheet has columns. The worst part is that Greg is good at his job. He's not someone coasting on nepotism. He's competent, he's pleasant. He brings in those little stroopwafel cookies for the office on Fridays. He has never done a single thing wrong to me. This man is my friend. I went to his birthday dinner last month. I bought him a gift with my lesser salary. I looked up his job posting from when he was hired. It listed the salary range. The range started at what I make and went up to what he makes. So technically, we're both in range. I'm just at the bottom and he's at the top. Same range, same title, different ends. Like 2 people on the same bus, except he's in first class and I'm sitting on the wheel. I know I should negotiate. I know I should talk to my manager. I know the mature thing to do is advocate for myself. But instead, I've been silently tracking the cumulative salary gap between me and Greg in a Google sheet that I have named Greg Data and password protected, even though nobody would ever want to look at it. We're at $6,100 since I found out. 14 working days. I'll stop tracking it when I get a raise or when I lose my mind. And honestly, at this point, it's a coin flip. Though I should mention, someone pointed out that assuming around 250 working days per year, 14 working days would actually be closer to $1,700 in difference, not $6,100. So apparently, I also need to check the math in my spreadsheet, which, as I responded, is probably why I'm paid at the bottom of the range. Greg just offered me a stroopwafel. I took it. It was delicious. That makes it worse somehow.
Readers flooded the comments with one unified message: stop building spreadsheets and start having a conversation with management. Meanwhile, the original poster continued silently tracking every dollar of the growing gap, convinced they were the only one who knew the secret. 5 days later, a Monday morning coffee delivery would shatter that assumption entirely.
People wanted an update, so here it is, a short one, because honestly, I'm still processing. First, the math. A lot of you pointed out that a $31,000 annual gap over 14 working days is not $6,100. It's about $1,700. I had a formula error in the spreadsheet I built specifically to track numbers. Greg Data has been corrected. I left the old column in there labeled wrong because I think I deserve to look at it every time I open the file. Someone commented, "This is why Greg makes more than you." And yeah, that's fair. Now, many of you are convinced Greg left his offer letter open on purpose, that nobody zooms a PDF to 400% by accident. I kept telling myself, no, that's crazy. That's a conspiracy theory about a man who brings cookies to work on Fridays. And then Monday happened. Monday, I'm at my desk. Greg walks over and puts a coffee down in front of me. Not near me, in front of me, like a delivery. And then he says, "Hey, so, You doing anything about the pay thing? I need you to understand something. I have never said a single word to Greg about his salary. Not one. I did not tell him I saw the offer letter. I did not tell him about the spreadsheet. I have told no one at work about any of this. And this man walks up to me on a Monday morning with a coffee and says the pay thing. Like we've been having this conversation for weeks. I said, "What pay thing?" And he looked at me for a second, like he was waiting for my brain to catch up with the rest of reality. And then he said, "Never mind," and walked away. Never mind. He said never mind, like he'd asked me if I wanted lunch and I said no. I have been thinking about that never mind every single day since. I added a tab in Greg data called evidence. I'm not going to say what's in it because if I'm wrong about all of this, I will need to move to another state. I also need to mention Ting Ting. Ting Ting sits 2 rows over and leaves at exactly 5 o'clock every day, not around 5. At 5 o'clock, if there was a fire alarm at 4:59, Ting Ting would evacuate and then not come back at 5 because her day is over. She is the most reliable person I have ever met, and I say that with complete sincerity. She becomes relevant later. Wednesday morning, I get to my desk and there's a stroopwafel sitting on it. 1 stroopwafel, on a napkin, no note. Greg does the stroopwafel thing on Fridays, for the whole office. This was a Wednesday. This was just for me. I sat there looking at it for a while, and then I opened Greg data and added a new column. The column is called Day of Week. The first entry says Wednesday. I highlighted it in yellow because it felt important. I don't know what it means yet, but I'm watching. As for what I'm actually doing about the pay gap, I do have a meeting with my manager coming up. We'll see how that goes. And Ting Ting, she does become relevant. I'm just not ready to talk about that part yet. Maybe next update. Greg, if you're reading this, I am onto you, I think.
Sometimes the universe hands you exactly the information you need, whether you asked for it or not. The original poster hints that more updates are coming, so subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, including the mystery of Ting Ting. Drop your thoughts on workplace pay transparency in the comments, and check out our other videos for more stories about navigating the unwritten rules of office life.